My mother-in-law told my children I'm too dumb to teach them anything without help. So, I enrolled in law school. She showed up working in the firm I now own. You should have seen her face. The words cut through me like a knife as I stood frozen outside my daughter's bedroom door. But Grandma Jackie says Mom's not smart enough to help with homework anyway. My 14-year-old Lexus's voice drifted into the hallway, followed by my 12-year-old son, Cayenne's agreement. I'm Sandra. And until that moment, I thought I was doing okay as a mother. Sure. I didn't finish college, choosing instead to support my husband, Prince, through law school and raise our children. But I've always been there for them, cooking, cleaning, helping with projects, attending every game and recital. Yet somehow, my mother-in-law had managed to convince my children I was stupid. Your mother means well, dear. Jacqueline had said just yesterday, patting my hand condescendingly at our weekly family dinner. But perhaps Lexus should call me when she needs help with her advanced placement courses. After all, we want her to maintain those grades, don't we? I gripped my fork tighter, smile plastered on my face while Prince became suddenly very interested in his mashed potatoes. He never stands up to his mother. Never. Actually, I helped Alexis with her last history project, I'd said. She got an A. Jacqueline had laughed that tinkling laugh that makes my skin crawl. Oh, sweetheart. Anyone can help stick pictures on a poster board. I'm talking about real academic assistance. Now hearing my children echo her words, something inside me snapped. I pushed open the bedroom door. Is that what you really think? Both kids jumped. Lexus's face flushed red, but she lifted her chin defiantly. Well, you didn't even finish college, Mom. And you're always asking Dad for help with the big words in the newspaper, Cayenne added. I walked into the room and sat on Lexus's bed. Do you know why I didn't finish college? They shook their heads. Because I chose to support your father through law school instead. Someone had to work to pay the bills, and someone had to take care of you too. That was my choice. It doesn't make me stupid. But Grandma Jackie says, Grandma Jackie doesn't know everything. My voice came out sharper than intended. I took a deep breath. Did you know I had a full scholarship to UCLA before I met your father? Their eyes widened. This was news to them. Mom, why didn't you ever tell us? Lexus asked. Because I've never regretted my choice to put our family first. But maybe I stood up, a plan forming in my mind. Maybe it's time for some changes around here. That evening, I confronted Prince in our bedroom. Your mother has to stop undermining me in front of the kids. He sighed, loosening his tie. She means well, Sandra. Does she? Because today, I heard our children discussing how I'm too stupid to help with their homework. Is that meaning well? She's just traditional. She believes I'm beneath you because I'm just a housewife. And now our kids believe it too. I felt tears threatening but forced them back. When was the last time you defended me to her? His silence was answer enough. I'm going back to school, I announced. Prince's head snapped up. What? Law school, specifically. The idea had been forming all afternoon, and now that I said it out loud, it felt right. I'm going to show our children and your mother exactly what I'm capable of. Law school? Sandra, that's years of intense study. The L sat alone. Are you saying I can't do it? He backpedaled quickly. No, of course not. It's a big commitment. What about the kids? The kids need to see their mother as someone worthy of respect. Right now, thanks to your mother, they don't. I moved to the door, then turned back. I'm doing this, Prince. Either support me or get out of my way. That night, I lay awake planning. Tomorrow, I'd call my best friend, Bianca. She'd help me figure out the first steps. I'd need to study for the LSAT, research schools, figure out financing. The path ahead looked daunting, but every time I closed my eyes, I heard my children's voices. Mom's not smart enough. Well, Jacqueline Howard, I thought, just watch me prove you wrong. I'm done being the quiet, accommodating daughter-in-law. I'm done letting you shape how my children see me. You want to talk about intelligence? Let's see how you handle it when I'm the one with the law degree. I finally drifted off to sleep, dreaming of leather-bound law books and the sweet satisfaction of proving everyone wrong. You're doing what? Bianca nearly spat out her coffee across the cafe table. Law school? You? Thanks for the vote of confidence, I muttered, stirring my untouched latte. No. That's not what I meant. She reached across and grabbed my hand. I'm just surprised. But honestly, it's brilliant. It's exactly what you need to do. I smiled, feeling the first flutter of excitement since making my decision. Really? Absolutely. That which Jacqueline needs to see what you're made of. And your kids? Bianca shook her head. They need to see their mom crush it. I bought LSAT prep books yesterday, I said, pulling one from my bag. Prince almost choked when he saw the receipt. Speaking of Prince, how's he taking it? I sighed. He's adjusting. Says he supports me, but I can tell he's worried about how his precious mother will react. And when are you planning to tell her? Sunday dinner. Should be fun. I tried to laugh, but it came out more like a wheeze. The dreaded Sunday arrived too quickly. I'd spent the week buried in LSAT prep, surprising myself with how much I was actually enjoying it. Logic games that had initially seemed impossible were starting to make sense. Jacqueline's perfectly coiffed head appeared in our doorway at exactly 6 p.m. Something smells interesting, she said, sniffing the air. It's coq au vin, I replied. I've been taking French cooking classes. Oh, finally trying to better yourself? How nice. She patted my cheek as she passed. I counted to 10 in my head. During dinner, I waited until everyone had started eating before dropping my bomb. I've decided to go to law school. The clatter of silverware against plates was almost comical. Jacqueline's fork stopped halfway to her mouth. I'm sorry, dear. I must have misheard you. No. You heard correctly. I took a sip of water, maintaining eye contact. I'm studying for the LSAT now. I plan to apply for next fall's admission. Jacqueline's laugh was sharp enough to cut glass. Darling, law school isn't like those cooking classes. It requires intellectual rigor. Mom, Prince warned, but she waved him off. I'm simply being realistic. Sandra dear, know your limitations. There's no shame in being, she paused delicately. Domestic. Like you mean? The words left my mouth before I could stop them. Weren't you just complaining last week about having to ask Prince for help with your taxes? The temperature in the room dropped 10 degrees. How dare you? Jacqueline's face flushed. I raised a successful son who I helped put through law school, I interrupted. And now it's my turn. Mom's really good at the practice tests. Lexus piped up unexpectedly. I saw her scoring them yesterday. Jacqueline turned to her granddaughter. Sweetheart, there's a vast difference between a practice test and actual law school. Your mother would be competing against people who have certain advantages she lacks. Like what? I challenged. A trust fund, a country club membership, or just your approval? Sandra, Prince started, but I cut him off. No. I want to hear exactly what advantages I'm lacking. Please, Jacqueline, enlighten us all. She stood up, napkin falling to the floor. I will not sit here and be attacked in my son's home by his wife, the mother of his children, the woman who's about to prove you wrong about everything you've ever said about her. This is ridiculous, she spat. Prince, are you going to allow this? Prince looked between us, then slowly set down his fork. Actually, Mother, I think Sandra will make an excellent lawyer. The silence that followed was deafening. Jacqueline's mouth opened and closed like a fish out of water. I think we're done with dinner, I said calmly, standing up. Lexus Cayenne, please help clear the table. This isn't over. Jacqueline hissed as she gathered her things to leave. You're making a fool of yourself, and worse, you're embarrassing my son. I held the door open for her. You know what, Jacqueline? You're right about one thing. This isn't over. It's just beginning. After she left, Prince wrapped his arms around me. That was intense. Are you mad? He kissed the top of my head. No. I'm proud and a little scared of you. I laughed, feeling lighter than I had in years. Good. Because I meant every word. I'm doing this. Later that night, I called Bianca to recount the evening. You actually said that to her face? She squealed. God, I wish I'd been there. It felt good, I admitted. Really good. But now I have to back it up. You will, she said firmly, and I'll help you every step of the way. I hung up and opened my LSAT prep book more determined than ever. Jacqueline had unknowingly given me exactly what I needed, the fire to prove her wrong. Mom, where's my soccer uniform? Cayenne shouted from upstairs. Laundry room, I called back, highlighting another passage in my LSAT prep book. Third shelf. Mom, can you proofread my essay? Lexus appeared in the doorway, laptop in hand. Give me 5 minutes to finish this section. I glanced at the kitchen clock, 6:45 a.m. The kids needed to leave for school in 20 minutes, and I had my LSAT prep course at 9. 6 months had passed since the dinner confrontation with Jacqueline. 6 months of juggling household duties, kids' activities, and intensive studying. Dark circles had become my permanent accessories, but my practice test scores were steadily climbing. "This doesn't make sense," Lexus said, peering over my shoulder at my logic games practice. "How can you understand this stuff?" I smiled, "The same way you understand algebra, practice and persistence." The doorbell rang unexpectedly. I opened it to find Jacqueline, immaculately dressed as always. "I thought I'd drive the children to school today," she announced, sweeping past me. "Give you more time for your studies." The way she said studies made it sound like a dirty word. "That's not necessary." I started, but Cayenne was already bounding down the stairs. "Cool. Grandma Jackie, can we stop for breakfast?" "Of course, darling. Anything you want." She shot me a triumphant look. Unlike some people, I have time for my grandchildren. I bit my tongue, remembering my therapist's advice about choosing my battles. "Fine. Kids, have a good day." After they left, I threw myself into studying until it was time for my prep course. The local library had become my second home, and today, I arrived to find an unexpected ally. Sandra, Moses, a retired judge who volunteered at the library, waved me over. "I was hoping you'd come in today. I have something for you." He pulled out a stack of old law school textbooks. "These helped me through my first year. They're yours if you want them." "I haven't even taken the LSAT yet," I protested, "but you will and you'll pass." He leaned forward. "I've been watching you study here every day. You have what it takes." "What's that?" "Determination and something to prove." He winked. "The best lawyers always do." Later that afternoon, I was deep in a practice test when my phone buzzed. A text from Prince. "Mother just called. Says she's worried about the kids. Says they're being neglected." My hands shook as I typed back. "Because she drove them to school one time?" She mentioned Cayenne's grade in math dropped. It dropped from an A to an A. One assignment. "I'm handling it." "I know. I told her that. Just wanted you to know what she's saying." I was about to respond when another text came through, this time from an unknown number. It was a screenshot of a social media post. Jacqueline lamenting about modern mothers who prioritize their vanity projects over their children's well-being. Bianca called seconds later. "Did you see what that witch posted?" "Just now." I tried to keep my voice steady. "She's trying to get to me." "Don't let her." "How's the studying going?" "Good. Really good, actually. Moses gave me his old textbooks today." "The retired judge?" "That's huge." Bianca paused. "Hey. Want some interesting info about your mother-in-law?" "What kind?" "My cousin works at the country club. Apparently, Jacqueline's been late with her membership dues. 3 months running." I sat up straighter. "Really?" "Yep. Rumor has it she's having money troubles. Her investment guy made some bad calls." This information settled in my mind like a seed. I filed it away for future reference. That evening, I helped Cayenne with his math while dinner simmered on the stove. Lexus sat at the kitchen counter working on her homework. "Mom," she said suddenly, "I told Grandma Jackie she was wrong about you." I looked up. "What do you mean?" "She said you were being selfish, choosing studying over us. I told her you still help us with everything. You just sleep less." Lexus smiled. "I told her you're showing us that it's never too late to follow your dreams." Tears pricked my eyes. "Thank you, sweetheart." "Also," Cayenne added, "I told her you're way better at explaining math than she is." I laughed, pulling them both into a hug. "I love you guys." Later, after the kids were in bed, I sat with my practice materials, energized despite the late hour. Jacqueline might be trying to tear me down, but she was only making me stronger. And if what Bianca said about her financial troubles was true, well, karma had a way of evening things out. I opened Moses's textbook and began to read, a small smile playing on my lips. The LSAT was in 3 weeks, and I was ready. "Congratulations to our graduating class." The dean's voice boomed across the law school auditorium. 3 years of relentless work, sleepless nights, and proving everyone wrong had led to this moment. I spotted my family in the crowd. Prince beamed proudly while Lexus and Cayenne held up a homemade banner. Way to go, Mom. Notably absent was Jacqueline, who developed a convenient migraine this morning. After the ceremony, Bianca rushed over, nearly tackling me with a hug. You did it. And with honors, take that, Jacqueline. Speaking of the devil, Prince muttered, nodding toward the entrance. There stood Jacqueline, looking uncomfortable in last season's designer dress, another sign of her continuing financial struggles. Sandra, she said stiffly, air kissing my cheek. I suppose congratulations are in order. How's your migraine? I asked sweetly. Before she could respond, Moses appeared. There's my star student. Ready for your first day at the firm next week? Jacqueline's eyes widened. You've already secured a position? Top firm in the city, Moses said proudly. I recommended her myself. I watched Jacqueline's face cycle through various emotions before settling on a tight smile. How fortunate. 1 week later, I walked into Harrison and Wilcox law firm armed with a new briefcase and determination. Moses had pulled strings to get me in, but now I had to prove myself. You must be Sandra, a sharp voice said. I turned to find a younger woman in a power suit that probably cost more than my monthly mortgage payment. I'm Heidi. I'll be showing you around. Her tour felt more like an interrogation. So you're Moses' pet project? Must be nice having connections. I earned my place here, I replied firmly. Just like everyone else. She smirked. We'll see about that. The next few months were a blur of case files, court appearances, and office politics. Heidi seemed determined to see me fail, but I channeled my years of dealing with Jacqueline into handling her with grace. Your brief on the Martinez case is actually not terrible, Heidi admitted one late night, dropping a file on my desk. High praise indeed, I said dryly, not looking up from my computer. She hesitated. Look. I may have been a bit harsh initially. A bit? Fine. I was a total witch, but you've proven yourself. She sat on the edge of my desk. And I heard about how you handled the Thompson negotiation today. Pretty impressive. I finally looked up. Thanks, Heidi. Don't let it go to your head. But she was smiling as she left. Later that week, I was preparing for court when I overheard two paralegals gossiping in the break room. Did you hear about Mrs. Howard? Apparently, she's desperate for work. Her husband's investments tanked, and now she's applying everywhere. The same Mrs. Howard who used to host those fancy charity galas? The very same. Karma's a real piece of work, isn't it? I froze. Coffee cup halfway to my lips. Jacqueline was job hunting? The woman who'd spent years looking down on working mothers, Sandra? Moses appeared in the doorway. Got a minute? In his office, he got straight to the point. The partners are impressed with your work. We're considering you for junior partner. I sat up straighter. Already? But I've only been here. And you've already brought in 3 major clients and won every case you've touched. He leaned forward. There's something else. We're expanding the firm, opening a new division. We want you to head it. Me? You'd have full autonomy over hiring. He slid a proposal across the desk. Think about it. That evening, I shared the news with Prince over dinner. Junior partner? Sandra, that's incredible. He hugged me tight. I'm so proud of you. There's more. I told him about the new division. I'd be building my own team. You should do it, Lexus chimed in. Show everyone what you can do. Speaking of everyone, Prince said carefully, Mother called today. She's well, she's looking for work, asked if I knew of any openings. I stared at the proposal on our kitchen counter, an idea forming. Actually, I might know of something. Really? I nodded, a slow smile spreading across my face. Tell her to send her resume to Harrison and Wilcox. They're hiring administrative staff for a new division. You'd hire Mother? After everything? Let's just say I'm curious to see how she handles working for someone she underestimated. Prince looked concerned. Are you sure about this? I thought about all the times Jacqueline had belittled me, all the snide comments and condescending looks. Oh, yes. I'm very sure. Tell her to send that resume in. Sometimes karma needs a little push in the right direction. Mrs. Howard is here for her interview, my assistant announced through the intercom. Send her to conference room B, I replied, and make sure Heidi handles the initial interview. I watched through the one-way glass as Jacqueline entered, wearing a suit that had definitely seen better days. Her usual confident stride was replaced by something more hesitant. Mrs. Howard. Heidi greeted her professionally. Please have a seat. Thank you for seeing me, Jacqueline said, her voice lacking its usual imperious tone. I understand you're looking for administrative staff? Yes. For our new division. The director is quite particular about who we hire. Heidi glanced at Jacqueline's resume. I see you haven't worked in an office environment before. I've managed numerous charity events and professional experience, Heidi interrupted. Paid positions? Jacqueline shifted uncomfortably. No. But I'm a quick learner. Heidi made a note. The position requires computer proficiency. Are you familiar with modern office software? I use email? I had to suppress a laugh. How many times had Jacqueline mocked my menial skills with computers? We'll need references, Heidi continued. Professional ones. Would my country club membership committee? Former employers. Heidi cut in again. Though I understand you've had to give up your club membership recently. Jacqueline's face flushed. My financial situation is private, not when you're seeking employment with us. We do thorough background checks, including credit histories. I watched Jacqueline's hands clench in her lap, a gesture I recognize from years of family dinners. I see, she said stiffly. Well, perhaps this isn't the right fit. Actually, Heidi consulted her notes. The director specifically requested to meet you. She'll be joining us shortly. Jacqueline's relief was palpable. Clearly, she thought her social connections might still save her. If only she knew. I gave them 5 more minutes before entering the conference room. Jacqueline's back was to the door, but I saw her spine stiffen as my heels clicked across the floor. Mrs. Howard, I said pleasantly. What a surprise. She whirled around, face draining of color. Sandra? That's Director Quinn here, Heidi corrected, barely concealing her smirk. This is your division? Jacqueline's voice was barely a whisper. Newly appointed, I confirmed, taking a seat. Heidi, could you give us a moment? Once we were alone, I opened Jacqueline's file. So you're interested in working for us? I didn't know. I wouldn't have. She stood up. This was clearly a mistake. Why? Because working for your daughter-in-law is beneath you? You're enjoying this, aren't you? Actually, I'm taking it very seriously. Sit down, please. To my surprise, she did. Your financial situation is dire, I stated plainly. Your investment advisor lost most of your savings. Your house is mortgaged to the hilt, and you need this job. How dare you? I dare because I'm in a position to help you. Despite everything, your family. And unlike some people, I don't believe in using family connections to tear others down. That hit home. She looked away. The position is yours if you want it, I continued. Standard probationary period, fair salary, full benefits. But understand this, you'll be treated like any other employee. No special treatment, no exceptions. And if I refuse, then you can explain to Prince why his mother is too proud to accept a perfectly good job offer from his wife. She was quiet for a long moment. You've changed. No. I haven't. I've always been capable. You just never bothered to see it. Another pause. When would I start? Monday, 8 a.m. sharp. Heidi will be your direct supervisor. Heidi? But she's half my age. Welcome to the corporate world, Jacqueline. Age doesn't equal authority here. Capability does. She stood again, smoothing her skirt. Very well. I accept. Excellent. HR will email you the paperwork. I rose to leave, then turned back. Oh, and Jacqueline? The dress code here is business professional. Every day, I watched her face as she calculated the cost of a new work wardrobe she couldn't afford. I'm sure you'll figure it out, I added sweetly. After all, you're a quick learner. After she left, Heidi burst into my office. That was beautiful. Did you see her face when you walked in? Keep an eye on her, I said. Fair but firm. No special treatment, but no targeting either. You're nicer than I would be. No. I'm smarter. Success is the best revenge, Heidi. And having Jacqueline witness my success up close and personal, that's priceless. That evening, I told Prince about his mother's new job. How did she take it? About as well as you'd expect. I curled up next to him on the couch, but she accepted. Are you sure about this? I thought about Monday morning when Jacqueline would have to answer to me. Oh, yes. I'm very sure. Sometimes the best lessons come from walking in someone else's shoes. You're late, Mrs. Howard. Heidi announced as Jacqueline rushed into the office at 8:15 a.m., 3 weeks into her employment. That's the third time this week. The traffic was terrible, and I had to take the bus because my car everyone else manages to arrive on time, Heidi interrupted, including those who take public transportation. I watched the exchange from my office, noting how Jacqueline's shoulders tensed. She wasn't adjusting well to being on the receiving end of authority. These need to be filed by noon, Heidi continued, dropping a stack of folders on Jacqueline's desk. And Director Quinn needs the Thompson briefs proofread before the client meeting at 2. I haven't finished yesterday's filing yet, Jacqueline protested. Then I suggest you work through lunch. As Heidi walked away, I saw Jacqueline mutter something under her breath, the same way I used to when she'd make her little comments at family dinners. Sandra? Moses appeared in my doorway. Got a minute? Inside his office, he closed the door. How's your mother-in-law working out? She's struggling, I admitted, but she's trying. I overheard her being rather sharp with the junior associates yesterday. I know. Old habits die hard. Sandra. He leaned forward. I understand what you're doing, but don't let personal satisfaction cloud your professional judgment. I won't, I promised. Give her 1 more week. If she doesn't improve, I'll handle it. Later that afternoon, I passed by the break room and heard Jacqueline's voice. It's absolutely ridiculous. She was saying, that girl Heidi is barely out of law school, and she thinks she can order me around like some servant. That girl is your supervisor. Another voice responded, Maria from accounting. And you're the one who applied for an entry-level position. Well, I never expected to be treated like regular staff. Maria's voice turned cold. Because you're Sandra's mother-in-law? Maybe that's exactly why you need to prove yourself more than anyone. I chose that moment to walk in. The room fell silent. Mrs. Howard, I said professionally, how are those Thompson briefs coming along? I'm working on them. Good. I need them on my desk by 1:30. I poured myself coffee and left, feeling their eyes on my back. Around 1 o'clock, Heidi came to my office. We have a situation. Your mother-in-law made Rebecca cry. Rebecca was our newest paralegal, fresh out of school and eager to learn. What happened? Rebecca asked for help finding a file, and Jacqueline told her she was too incompetent to work here and should go back to serving coffee. I closed my eyes briefly. Send them both to my office separately. Rebecca first. Rebecca's eyes were still red when she came in. I'm sorry, Director Quinn. I didn't mean to cause trouble. You didn't. Tell me exactly what happened. After hearing both sides, I called Jacqueline back in. Close the door, I instructed. Sit down, Sandra. That girl was being completely Director Quinn, I corrected, and stopped talking. She blinked, unused to being spoken to this way. 3 weeks ago, you accepted a position here. With that position came certain expectations. Being professional, respectful, and cooperative were among them. You failed on all counts. I am not finished. You're late consistently. Your work is slow and often incomplete. You treat your colleagues with contempt. In short, you're displaying exactly the kind of behavior you use to criticize in others. This is because of our personal history. No. This is because you're a poor employee. The fact that you're my mother-in-law is the only reason you're getting this warning instead of being terminated immediately. She sat straighter. Are you threatening me? I'm giving you one last chance. Starting tomorrow, you'll shadow Maria in accounting. She's agreed to retrain you on basic office protocol and professional behavior. You'll report to her for the next 2 weeks. That's ridiculous. I don't need those are your options. Take the training or submit your resignation. The silence stretched between us. You're enjoying this, aren't you? She finally asked. Actually, no. I'm disappointed. I thought you'd rise to the challenge, show the same strength you always claim to have. Instead, you're proving every doubt I had about hiring you. Her face flushed. I'll take the training, she said quietly. Good. Report to Maria at 8 a.m. sharp tomorrow. And Jacqueline? I waited until she met my eyes. You owe Rebecca an apology, a sincere one. After she left, I called Heidi in. Keep an eye on her with Maria, I instructed. If she steps out of line once. Heidi nodded. You know, for what it's worth, I think you're handling this better than most would. Sometimes the hardest part of revenge is showing mercy when you could show malice. Speaking of mercy, Heidi smiled. Wait until she finds out about next week's staff meeting. I couldn't help but smile back. The quarterly all-hands meeting would be interesting indeed. The quarterly all-hands meeting was set to begin in 5 minutes, and Jacqueline sat in the back row, nervously straightening her discount store blazer. 2 weeks of training with Maria had humbled her somewhat, but today would be the real test. "Everyone, please take your seats," Moses announced from the podium. "We have several important announcements today." I stood at the side of the conference room watching as our entire staff filed in. Heidi caught my eye and winked. "First," Moses continued, "I'm pleased to announce that our new division under Director Quinn's leadership has exceeded all quarterly projections by 30%. Applause filled the room. I saw Jacqueline shift uncomfortably in her seat. "And speaking of Director Quinn," Moses smiled. "I'll let her take over from here." I walked to the podium, my heels clicking against the hardwood floor. "Thank you, Moses. As many of you know, when I started here as a first-year associate, I had a lot to prove." Jacqueline's head snapped up. "Some people thought I wouldn't make it, that I was too old to start a legal career, too domestic to succeed in corporate law." I paused, letting my eyes meet Jacqueline's. They were wrong. The room was silent now, everyone listening intently. Success isn't about where you come from or who believes in you. It's about believing in yourself and proving your worth through hard work. I opened my folder, which brings me to today's announcements. "Rebecca?" Our young paralegal looked startled. "Yes, Director Quinn? Your work on the Thompson case was exceptional. Starting next month, you're being promoted to junior case manager." Rebecca's eyes filled with tears as people around her offered congratulations. Jacqueline stared at her hands. "Maria," I continued, "your mentoring program has shown remarkable results. The board has approved your proposal for a company-wide training initiative with a corresponding raise and title change." Maria beamed, and I saw her shoot a pointed look at Jacqueline. "And finally," I said, "I'd like to address our newest employees." I pulled out another paper. "Mrs. Howard," Jacqueline looked like she wanted to disappear into her chair. "Your recent performance under Maria's guidance has shown significant improvement. While you still have much to learn, your willingness to adapt is noted. You'll be moving to the corporate compliance team where your attention to detail will be an asset." Scattered applause followed. Jacqueline's face showed confusion, clearly unsure whether this was a promotion or a lateral move. "Remember," I concluded, "at Harrison and Wilcox, we believe in second chances, but we also believe in earning your place. Thank you all." As people began filing out, Jacqueline approached the podium. Director Quinn, may I have a word?" "In my office." Once inside, she didn't sit down. "Why are you doing this?" "Doing what?" "Recognizing good work, managing my division?" "No. This whole thing. Hiring me, making me train under people half my age, and now this new position. Would you prefer I fired you?" "No. She deflated slightly. "I don't understand why you're helping me." "Sit down, Jacqueline." She sat. "Do you remember what you said when I announced I was going to law school? That I should know my limitations?" She nodded slowly. "Well, I did know my limitations. I also knew they were temporary. Every obstacle can be overcome with enough determination." I leaned forward, including pride. "Is that what this is about, making me humble? This is about showing you that the very qualities you mocked in me, adaptability, willingness to learn, starting from the bottom, are exactly what you need now." Tears appeared in her eyes. "I was wrong about you. I know. And I'm sorry." "I know that too." I handed her a tissue. "Your new position starts Monday. Don't be late." She stood to leave, then paused. "The children, my grandchildren, they're proud of you, aren't they?" "Yes. And they can be proud of you too if you let them see what grace looks like in the face of adversity." After she left, Heidi burst in. "That was amazing. Did you see her face during your speech?" "It wasn't about her face," I said. "It was about her understanding. Still, it must feel good." I thought about it. You know what feels better? Knowing my kids are seeing that success doesn't mean crushing others. It means lifting yourself up, and sometimes if you're strong enough, lifting up those who try to hold you down. "You're too nice." Heidi laughed. "No." I smiled. "I'm just finally powerful enough to be kind." That evening, I received a text from Jacqueline. "Thank you for the second chance. Dinner on Sunday?" I showed it to Prince. "What do you think?" He wrapped his arms around me. "I think you've won more than just professional success." I texted back, Sunday works. I'll cook. Sometimes the sweetest victory isn't in defeating your enemies, but in transforming them into allies. Mom, can you help me with my law school application essay? Lexus asked, spreading papers across my home office desk. I looked up from the case files I was reviewing. Of course, sweetheart. I want to write about what inspired me to choose law. She grinned. Guess who? Before I could respond, the doorbell rang. Jacqueline entered carrying a stack of corporate compliance reports and wearing a sensible pantsuit, a far cry from her former designer wardrobe. I hope I'm not interrupting, she said, noticing Lexus's papers. These reports needed your signature before tomorrow. Perfect timing, actually, I said. Lexus was just working on her law school application. Jacqueline's face softened. Following in your mother's footsteps and dad's, Lexus added, but mostly mom's. She showed me that it's never too late to chase your dreams. She showed us all that, Jacqueline said quietly, setting down the reports. Mind if I take a look at your essay? I watched as my daughter and mother-in-law bent over the application together. Jacqueline pointing out phrases that could be stronger. Lexus eagerly taking notes. The scene would have been unimaginable a year ago. Sandra? Heidi's voice came through my phone. The Thompson merger just hit a snag. We need you at the office. I'll be there in 20. I gathered my things. Jacqueline, can you help Lexus finish the essay? I trust your judgment. The look of surprise and gratitude on her face was worth every bitter moment of the past. At the office, I found Heidi pacing. The other side's trying to back out. They claim we misrepresented the terms. Get me Moses and the merger documents, I said, slipping into director mode. And call their lawyer. What's his name? Actually, Heidi smiled. It's their new lawyer, someone you know. The conference room door opened and there stood my husband, Prince, counselor, I said professionally, fighting a smile. Director Quinn, he replied, equally formal. Shall we discuss the merger? 3 hours of intense negotiation later, we reached a compromise that satisfied both parties. As we packed up our files, Prince caught my hand. Remember our first case against each other in court? He asked. When I destroyed your argument and won? I grinned. When you showed me just how far you'd come, he corrected. I've never been more proud or more attracted to you. Save it for home, lovebirds, Heidi called from the doorway. Sandra, your mother-in-law's looking for you. I found Jacqueline in my office still holding Lexus's essay. We finished it, she said. It's good, really good. Thank you for helping her. Sandra. She took a deep breath. I need to say something properly this time. I sat down gesturing for her to continue. I was wrong about you. Not just about your capabilities, but about everything. I was so caught up in my own importance that I couldn't see the strength in others, especially in you. Jacqueline, please let me finish. Working here under you, it's been humbling, but it's also been enlightening. You could have crushed me. Instead, you taught me. You gave me dignity when I had none left. Everyone deserves a chance to reinvent themselves, I said. You did more than reinvent yourself. You became someone better while staying true to who you are. I admire that. The words hung in the air between us, healing old wounds. Want to know something funny? I asked. All those years I spent trying to prove you wrong, and in the end, the biggest victory wasn't proving anything. It was finding peace with who I am and showing an old woman she still had a lot to learn. She added with a small smile. My phone buzzed. A text from Cayenne. Maid honor roll. Grandma Jackie's been helping me study after work. I showed Jacqueline the message. Her eyes welled up. They don't call me Grandma Jackie anymore, she said. Now it's just Grandma. Feels more real somehow. Real is good, I agreed. Real is what we build on. Prince appeared in the doorway. Ready to head home? Lexus texted. She's making dinner. Heaven help us, Jacqueline laughed. Remember when she tried to make coco van? Like mother, like daughter, I said, remembering my own early cooking disasters. As we walked to the parking lot together, director, lawyer, and corporate compliance officer, daughter-in-law, husband, and mother-in-law, family, I realized something profound. Success isn't just about proving others wrong. Sometimes it's about proving to yourself that you can rise above the need for revenge, that you can turn adversaries into allies, and that the greatest victory isn't in defeating others, but in helping them grow alongside you. Race you home? Prince suggested. Winner gets to critique Lex's cooking? Jacqueline offered. I laughed, feeling lighter than I had in years. Game on.